So, cannabis has been legal in Canada for a week and a half or so. And you know what? The world didn't end. Oh my God. So, I support the legalization of cannabis. I think it's about damn time. Even though I don't personally use it. Tried it in college, didn't like it. It's not that I'm against it, it's a matter of personal taste. I don't like cannabis in the same sense that I don't like seafood. I don't like parsnips. I don't like falafel. If I was going to make something illegal, it would be tzatziki sauce. Did you know there are people in the West who actually violate perfectly good donaires with that shit? That should be a criminal offense. Anyway, I do support the legalization of pot, as I've said a number of times. First of all, quality control. You know what you're buying. You're not buying something laced with something else. Secondly, tax the shit out of it, just like you do alcohol and cigarettes. It's a huge possible fundraiser for the governments. I think it's great. So, legalize it. And I'm talking about recreational pot. Medicinal pot has been available for a while. So the only issue I've ever had is with people who had to justify their pot use. People had to say, oh, it cures cancer, it gets rid of brain tumors. Newsflash, no, it doesn't. That's bullshit. Um, so maybe now that it's legal recreationally, people can stop justifying it. I have no doubt that, marijuana does have applications. I'm sure it's, great to, well, I'm going to say smoke up, but I mean, I know there are edibles and other products, but I'm sure it's great to smoke a joint when you are in pain or you can't sleep or whatever. Great. If it helps you, go for it. Um, Personally, I'm more a dark rum or whiskey on the rocks kind of guy. Um, Not that I do that often anymore, but there was a time. But if you find it works for you, great. Just stop making ridiculous, outlandish claims. And ooh, I read it on the internet, so it must be true. Yeah, that's flat earther logic. That's anti-vaxxer logic. It does not hold up to scrutiny. But that being said, if you like it, then stop apologizing for using it. What I'm really hoping happens is that legalizing cannabis knocks a big hole in the illegal drug trade. I know it won't eliminate it completely. We still have bootleggers selling alcohol illegally. I know illegal cigarettes are still a big issue, even though you can buy them legally. Uh, and a lot of that's cost, and sometimes it's availability, depending on where you live, especially in the case of alcohol. But certainly legalizing these things, legalizing alcohol, look what ending prohibition did for the rum runners and the bootleggers. It did not eliminate them 100%, but it certainly knocked a big hole in the organized crime that it supported. And make no mistake, if you buy marijuana illegally, the same as if you buy any other drug illegally or if you buy cigarettes illegally, you are supporting organized crime. So, what I'm really hoping is that legalizing cannabis knocks a big hole in that. Now, don't talk to me about, cousin Fred who grows 6 plants in his backyard. I know it's possible to grow your own pot. That is, believe it or not where most of it that gets consumed comes from. Okay? The illegal drug trade is huge and it hurts people. And I'm really hoping that by legalizing um, recreational cannabis, that we can, you know, make a dent in that. And like I say, I don't see anything wrong with it. Is pot particularly good for you? Despite what people who defend it say, it's not the healthiest thing you can do. Um, Especially if you're smoking it. I mean, again, there's differences in the ways you consume it. Some people use the oil, some people use edibles. From what I have read and what I have seen and what I've personally experienced, the most common way to consume it is still smoking it for most people. And yeah, I mean, smoking anything is unhealthy, whether it's tobacco, whether it's cannabis, whether it's cotton balls. Human body is not designed to suck in smoke. Start a wood fire and suck in the smoke sometime and make you sick as hell. People die from that. So, you know, enjoy it. Alcohol's a proven carcinogen. Tobacco is not good for you. They're still legal and people still do them and people still enjoy them. I don't see why pot should be any different. Um, Enjoy it if you like it. I don't, but like I say, I don't enjoy falafels either. Um, Now, that being said, I think that it's important to remember a few basic pieces of common sense. It's not safe to consume alcohol and drive. It is not safe to consume cannabis and drive. And despite what people will have you believe, there is such a thing as cannabis toxicity. You can consume too much. Um, Smaller and less healthy people are more susceptible to this, as they are with any drug or narcotic or medication, for example, children and the elderly. So if you have edibles in the house, lock them up, keep them out of reach. Um, People say that, oh, it's a government propaganda that pot is bad for you. Well, the emergency rooms don't brace for an influx of illness based on government propaganda. They're based on real threats. And one of the things that they've had to brace for with cannabis becoming more readily available is cannabis toxicity. And it's rare, but it happens. So, just again, use common sense. If there's something that you would not do when you're drinking, don't do it when you're smoking or eating pot. Simple as that. Don't operate heavy machinery. Don't show up to work stoned. Um, just the fact that it's legal does not mean it's appropriate in every situation. I once had a guy try to tell me that LSD does not affect your sense of balance, so it should be fine for you to drive on it. Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't affect your sense of balance, but I know that driving down the road and swerving to avoid elephants is not a particularly safe way to drive. I've seen people on LSD. I saw a guy freak out one time because his pizza tried to crawl off the table. I don't think he should have been driving. Um, Use common sense. If you like the product, use the product. I'll stick to my occasional cold beer on a hot day when I'm barbecuing, or my occasional drink a dark rum or whatever. But, whatever gets you through the day. And yes, there are forms of cannabis that do not get you stoned. I would argue that those are not what I would consider recreational. If it doesn't have that effect on you, um, then you're taking it as a medication. Whether it works or not, that's up for debate, but you're taking it as medication, not as recreation. And again, power to you if it works for you. Just don't go online or preach in public about, oh, I had brain tumors and I used hash oil and it got rid of them. Bullshit. Anyway, so to the people of Nova Scotia and Canada at large, as long as you're safe and as long as you're sensible, smoke them if you got them.